I
You
don't,
don't? You do
I
or you
don't,
don't?
I don't, because you know what it is? I feel like now that, the training's changed and everything else, I just feel fresh. I don't feel,
Do your joints feel different now compared to when you were training
I
like your,
don't,
your normal way?
yeah, I don't really get joint pain at
Well, how
all.
like how different is it for you, honestly? Because you always train pretty slow, dude. So
Yeah, but
that's what I'm confused about. Because
here's the
you,
difference. Here's the difference. It was always slow, right? But it was never like a full range type of thing to where I'm just only executing the muscle itself. Then granted, yes, a lot of these times I train extremely slow, but there'll be times when and you can let me know if you think this is beneficial, because I personally don't think it is. When you're starting a set in your first rep, you're already shaking. I don't think that's productive, in my opinion. Granted, how so? Even though I
no,
would get like 6 to 8 reps and see how slow, to me, it's still, that's not the way.
no,
You shouldn't be shaking until the end of the set.
that's not
So
advantageous at all.
yes. So now that like for example, I wanted to, since Jared was there, I was feeling a little good. So like on the hip press, I had 7 plates.
Today.
Yeah, 7 plates on each side on the hip press, and I hit 12, which was, I pushed it pretty hard, but only rep 4, I was already shaking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't find that totally productive.
Yep.
So then in the second set, I literally dropped down to 5. I took like a 5-minute rest break, and it just was so smooth. And like rep 12, 13 is when I started to hit the shake. And that's just, to me, that's when you should,
Yep.
So when all those, even though, back in the day, I was like, oh, your training is like the great, this, that. It's like, it is, because I'm training very controlled. But at the same time, I'm almost forcing everything I have around me with that muscle to where it's kind of, it's kind of productive in a sense,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. It's
Yeah.
like I get more like now training in this fashion. Like I pushed it the other day, right? Like I did the 150s for 8. Rep 4, I was already shaking bacon. When I do the 120s, 130s, I'm getting 10 to 12.
Yeah.
But I'm not, I don't hit that rattle point till like rep 10.
Yeah.
And the pump's already bigger. So in my mind, what's beneficial?
Yeah.
Doing the 150s or the 130s? Probably the 130s.
Yeah. Yeah. I found that with this, it forces you to go lighter, and it definitely taxes your cardiovascular, because a set where you would do like 10 reps, right? That might be a 1 second up and a 1 second down, like 2 seconds, boom, boom, done. Right. Whereas, so if you did 10 reps like that, let's say that took you 35, 40 seconds, right?
Yeah.
You do 12 reps or 10 reps the way they do it, you're talking well over a minute. And that alone
don't
is
you find that
fucking,
more beneficial though?
oh yeah. And it's fucking not easy.
No, it's hard.
You
And
know?
that was the thing. So like even after doing the 7 plates and backing down the 5, yes, it was smoother, but in the muscle itself, it felt harder
Yeah.
than the 7 plates.
Yeah. Yep.
I was like, oh shit,
Yeah. Like today we did back, and he had us do like 2 heavy sets for 12 reps, and then back it down for 2 sets for 15.
Yep.
Those 15,
no joke.
even though they're like 40, 50 pounds lighter, are horrible. They're horrible. Like I'm gassed, I'm soaking wet, I'm fucking breathing heavy. And the one thing I had to get used to, and he actually called me on it too, Jared, he was like, you need to fucking take your time. And not like, I know you like to move. He's like, you gotta fucking take rest breaks, dude. He's like, the 1 minute rest breaks are not going to cut it. He's like, you need to fucking take rest breaks.
Like, even though I would say like the way I trained, it's a shorter amount of time I'm in the gym. My rest periods, bro, I'm not kidding. It's maybe like 2 to 3 minutes a set.
Yeah. Yep.
And it sucks because I'm like you too. I want to go.
Yeah.
But you see the benefit.
Because did you ever try to move fast and then be like, fuck, you start to set, you do like 2 reps and you're like, should have fucking waited another 2 minutes.
Yep. You're fucked. It's not going to work.
Joe, my training partner, likes to move quick, because that's what he's used to. Cause that's what I always did. And that's when we trained together, that we just moved. And I have to be like, dude, you gotta fucking relax and sit down for fucking 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Cause like, you're not like, this is not going to benefit you if you don't fucking like slow the fuck down.
I'll tell you what, I think me and Jared were actually just having this conversation today, actually, because he was like, how much do you weigh? I was like, this morning was actually my lightest. I was 286.
Oh, wow.
And he was like, how do you look? So I showed him pictures of that. I didn't post these ones, but I sent him pictures I sent to Matt on Friday. And he's like, dude, what did you weigh at the Olympia? I was like 255. He's like, I think you put on about 10 pounds of muscle here.
Wow.
He's like, I think judging by this look in particular at 286, I think you'll be about 265, 270.
Wow.
And that just goes to show that because the only thing I've changed this entire time from the Arnold that I competed in until now was the training. Nothing else changed.
Food substantially the same.
Food was probably a little less this off season. The other aspects, gear was probably even a little less as well than normal because I didn't have a long break, so we couldn't like just jump into a high off season. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You never got super fat.
No. So if within 3 months, if I was able to substantially put on this much mass, like that's crazy, bro.
That's nuts.
That says a lot. Granted, I know I'm a genetic freak where not many people could probably do that. Yes. But it does go to show that me changing something and trying something new really did benefit. And if it worked for me, then maybe someone who's not as genetic could maybe reach a better potential than training, a body part once a week or, things of this nature. Yeah. And really get this, this style down.
Or some people might be like, you have a lot less stress this year.
True.
Which is also a fucking benefit.
Mm-hmm. Stress plays a role.
A big role. And people don't realize that.
No, dude, I'll tell you what, last year, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, please cut me off as much as you like today.
I'm on a roll now. Last year, and it's funny because like I said, this off season was the shortest, literally like 3 months, if that. But I feel I've put on more lean quality muscle than the entire year of off season I had last year before I started. And I had a whole year, if not more, because I didn't do the Arnold, remember? Yep. So I literally had that whole year. Granted, and this is what I'm going to say, stress does play a role because that whole time I was not in the best headspace ever. And I could feel it. Like, you just know. Yeah. Like you feel that shit 20, and then training on top of it will not help at all because all that's doing is stressing you out more.
Yeah, because it's all based around the same thing. Everything, exactly. Like
and whether and all I felt at the time, training was my only thing. So I trained more, which made it even worse. And getting past that hump and everything else, it's like the fact that I was able to improve this much in a short amount of time, like it blows my mind, honestly.
How did you end up falling in the hands of Jared and Dr. Mike? Like, how did that all come to fruition? Because I never asked you. You just fucking didn't shut up about it on the podcast and when we texted. So that's what made me interested in it. Because I was like, man, he's not shutting the fuck up about it. Like, this has got to be somewhat worth looking into if Nick keeps talking about it. So like, how did you guys like get to this point, I guess, right?
I met Jared actually, I think it was during my prep for Olympia. He was at Dragon's Lair. I met me and Mark, we talked, all three of us talked a little bit. Yep. And Jared always said, let's train. And knowing me, you know me, I don't change shit when I'm in the heat of prep. So I'm like, yeah, after the Olympia, I'll try it out, whatever. Okay, cool. And then I ended up doing the Arnold. So, I just kind of kept the groove that I had. So finally the Arnold ended, and I believe I messaged him and I said, let's get a session. I want to see your style. And he said, okay, what do you want to train? I said, I got legs tomorrow. He's like, okay, let's do legs.
You got balls.
That was the biggest mistake. Because he was like at the end of his mesocycle. And I'm like 2 weeks after the Arnold and shit. Yeah. So but I was like, oh, this is good. Like I want to try it again, but just not as intense because it beat me the fuck up.
It did.
horribly. Because he was, like I said, he was at like the peak of his, you know, cycle. So he's doing like 3 sets of everything.
Oh,
And it's hard, you know, it's not.
I'll be there. I think so I'm in week 5 next week.
Yeah. So I'm like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
So the next day I felt like I was hit with a Mack truck, but I had no, like, there was no knee pain, no nothing. And granted, I know I just got done the Arnold, so I shouldn't have that much pain anyway, but I'm like,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. So I said, okay, let's train again. So we ended up doing chest as the next session. It was chest, shoulders, and like some biceps or something. And we only did like 2 exercises for chest, bro. And I'm like, ooh. I'm like, okay, like, you know, like this is, I never had this feeling of just 2 fucking exercises. And I was still skeptical. So I'm like, let me see how I feel the next day. So I woke up, I felt fine, but my chest was sore as fuck. So I'm like, okay. So that's when I was like, you know what? Let me do this. Set me up with the app, whatever. You create whatever. I'll follow it. I'll let Matt review it, see how he feels, and then we'll go from there. So like, okay, cool. He made his own thing that he, you know, I told him what I wanted to do. He set it up. I let Matt review it. Matt proved, and that's what I've been doing ever since. And I just feel like it's drastically improved me. And since he travels a lot, you know, due to the RP stuff, him and Mike travel a lot. We train together whenever we can because he lives in Vegas. But I met Mike at Dragon's Lair. I think during the Arnold prep. We have not trained together yet. But I have met him. He's a very nice guy.
Dr. Mike.
Yes.
We should have those guys on.
Oh yeah, he would love it.
I think we should have both of them on and to talk about it. I think it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, they're both awesome people. I think.
Do you know how they developed this training cycle, the RP hypertrophy? Do you know like how they did they know each other prior? Did they do this together as like an effort, like a dual effort, or like?
I don't know exactly the background, but I'm gonna assume like they were friends. They had the same type of method, you know, and they just kind of conjoined together. Yeah, and I think they both kind of went to school for like the same thing. So like they're both, obviously Mike's a doctor, but Jared is really, really very.
What is Jared's major? Is it kinesiology, exercise science, or something like that?
Yeah, I think something like that. Yeah, but he's very smart. Like, but he what he likes about me is, you know, whenever he teaches me something, I'm a quick learner.
You don't have to repeat yourself.
Yeah, so he's like, it's crazy. Like you catch someone like so fast. Yeah. Like even today, training together, you know, since we haven't trained together now, it was like a couple months, honestly. Like he didn't really critique much. Okay. And like the first time we trained together, it was a hard workout. It was legs, obviously, but it was a lot of fixing, doing this, doing that, fixing that. Today, like he was just like, dude, you're good.
That's awesome. Yeah, he corrected. Whole semi like DMs, like widen your feet, point your toes out, slow down, hold it.
Yeah, he's very big on like the toes out, feet out, hip, get the full hip, you know. Yeah. And I get it. I you know, at first I was like, but feet close, you know, he's just like, trust me. So it's just literally what I do, and it worked in my legs. And
your legs got bigger for sure.
And I train, like I said, it's more frequency, you know, so I train legs almost like twice a week.
What I do find though is that in the beginning, obviously, I'm not talking in the beginning, but now that I'm in it and I'm used to it, it's almost like I can hit the muscle more often, and it kicks my ass, but I recover faster because I'm not overdoing it.
You're not. And
so it's like,
and you're not also. Hopefully, you're not. You should not be going like to true failure neither.
No, sometimes on like a second or third set, I'm like, I go there was definitely not 2 in the tank on that one. Like today,
and it happens.
Yeah, like today we did back. It was back and buys, right? And then like I was like, oh, we're fucking done with back, thank God. And then it was easy bar barbell curls, and it was 3 sets. And I looked, it was like 18 reps. I was like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah, you gotta pick a weight.
And it was 50 pounds, and it was like squeezing and then coming down. It was 18, and me and Joe, I was like, this is fucking just as hard as D-bar roast. Like, Jesus Christ.
Tell me how big your pump was, though.
Insane. I feel like I still compete when I leave the gym, and then I look in the mirror and I'm like, yeah, you know.
Well, that's what I was telling Maria. I'm like, the cool thing about this, if it's done right,
Yeah.
I never not feel pumped.
No.
Like I feel like all the time.
From the first set, when I walk into the gym, I am fucking swollen the entire workout. Like first set, after you get the warm ups and the feeder, you start to do your first set. That first set, we did one set of T-bar rows for 12. And I was like,
pumped.
did we just fucking started? This
Pumped.
is fucking insane.
That's how it was after like the first set of like our actual first set of hip press. I'm like, fuck, man. And he's like, yeah, I'm pumped.
Do you think you'll change anything going into the Olympia? Like, do you think you're going to keep the same training method throughout and just roll it right in? Or
yeah, I mean, listen, I think it's working very well. Matt's very happy with it. So unless Matt says let's change a little something, I don't feel the need to make any drastic change. Maybe, you know, I'll change an exercise or something, but
yeah,
as far as like the split itself, you know, doing one body part, this and that, I don't think I will. Okay. I'm actually really enjoying this progress. I enjoy keeping track. And it just makes training fun. And I honestly didn't think I would enjoy doing push-pull, to be honest, but it's different because of how you're doing it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it a little more entertaining for yourself. So no, I don't think I'll change. I think this is something I'll probably keep for one more time.
Going into talking about training, what are your theories on the week of the show? When I was an amateur, and then even like I would say an early pro, I was always, and I think this is an old school mentality, it was always, I didn't train for a week. I stopped training legs 10 days out. Like that was just, and that's old school. I'm not telling anybody to do that. That's what we did. And when I say we, I mean it like collectively, because I know a lot of guys did that. They stopped training legs super early. And what I found for myself, depending upon who you are as a person and your, your day-to-day activity level, I'm somebody that's high strung. I have a high energy level. I do a lot throughout the day on top of cardio training. I'm constantly moving outside this, that. So for me to do nothing for a week and not even work out, when it came time to pump up backstage, I found that my body was not coming back to life. So in the latter part of my career, I started training, and I would train, right? And then the day before the show, like I would literally train exactly the way I trained throughout my entire prep. I never changed my sets. I never changed my reps. I never changed my intensity factor whatsoever. But the week of the show, I backed down the intensity. I backed down the volume. And then the day before the show, I would go to the gym in the hotel, and I would just do a pump workout with Charles or by myself. And that was like a superset of bis and tris, maybe a little pump in the shoulders just to get blood moving. And I was done. And then I would like go walk around the hotel, or I would go to a mall and just do a couple laps just to keep blood moving. And I found that made me look substantially better when I was on stage and helped me pumping up. But do you do anything similar to that, or do you take off?
No, hi, Jose.
Hi, Jose.
I train honestly, like with Matt, I still train hard, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like that final week, I'm not saying I'm putting,
you're not breaking records,
160-pound dumbbell press or anything like that. No. But I would still say I train still hard, just, obviously nothing to failure, obviously. But it's like, okay, say you're doing this mesocycle. For me, I feel like I would be doing like the final week, like a week 2 type of training that you would.
And when would you stop?
We would. Okay, so in the Olympias,
if the show was on Saturday,
we would stop training Thursday.
Okay.
So Friday would basically just be eating and posing.
Cool.
And that's it.
So you just give yourself one day.
Yeah, if it's a 2-day show like we've done. So me and Matt started doing this when I won the Arnold, actually in 2021. Well, no, wasn't it? Because that was a 1-day show. When the 2-day show started, this Saturday, on the second day, we would still go to the gym and pump up, do a little pump workout.
Yep.
and then that was it.
Neil Hill used to do shit like that. He
Yeah,
used to
like
ha-
Thursday, there'd be no training, just straight posing, whatever. Friday, game day. Saturday, he look at us, get our 2 meals in like normal, go pump up real fast, like half hour, if that, head back, chill, tan, whatever you need to do, and then it's
Yeah.
final time.
Jose, did your method change? Because I know back when I was telling Nick, when earlier on in my career, I would stop training legs like 10 days out. And then I would like honestly barely train the week of the show. And I found that to be like very unproductive because my body never came back to life when I stopped doing everything because I'm too active and too high strung. Did your methodologies on change from the earlier part of your career to the latter, or did it always stay kind of pro bono?
No, I always trained all the way up to the show.
Like, and stop what day?
What's that?
Like, so you would stop if the show was on Saturday.
Do legs. My last leg workout would be like Sunday or Monday.
Yeah.
At the latest. But everything else I would train. If it was time to train shoulders, I would train shoulders Wednesday before I got on the plane. If it was time to train arms, I would do arms Thursday before I got on the plane, whatever.
Yeah.
How many times did you do cardio the day like of weigh-ins?
every time. Every time.
He was such a miserable fucking Nick.
It's funny that everyone talked about like how Flex had trouble making weight.
Nobody did.
But I actually had to do cardio to make weight, just because I was, my normal weight was like 215, and to get under 212, I had to make sure
You had to suffer.
Yeah,
Nick.
but on stage I'd be like 207. I wasn't even close to 212. But making the weight was an issue because that was a few days prior to the show. Obviously, you're not going to like use diuretics 3 days before the show. The minute I introduce any type of diuretic, I would be 7 pounds lighter right away, like the next morning.
It hits you that hard, huh?
Oh my God, yeah.
I'm the same way.
Really?
Yeah, I had to take eighths and quarters.
It hits me hard, but not like crazy.
Yeah. So my first Olympia, Nick, was 2011, and we were walking into Orleans going to fucking check-ins. And I was so fucking amped up. I had so much energy. I was fucking ready to rock and roll, like feeling good. This is when it was 2011. So I think that was 202.
Yeah.
That was the last 202 Olympia.
I wanted to fight someone. Yeah.
We're walking in New Orleans. Jose's next to me, and I'm fucking like asking questions, like just I'm. It's like my first Olympia, so I'm in it, and he fucking snaps. He's like, "Would you fucking shut up?" He's like, "Some of us have to fucking suck down to make weight." Oh, you're like Spike. You're like that fucking little dog. Like, hey, Spike, what's up, Spike? He's like, "Shut the fuck up." He's like, I had a fucking rice cake all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's laughing.
It's true.
He got so fucking mad at me, dude.
Because back then it was 202. We had to legit make weight. Like,
How, Jose, was it hard to make 202 back then versus
Yes.
212?
fuck, yeah.
I almost missed it at the Dexter Jackson Classic in 2011. I took second. Vaughn Etienne, probably a name you'll never heard of, which was a fucking insane
New York cop.
physique, a New York cop.
He went and took
Really?
a poop. He went and took a 5-pound poop.
Shit, and came back. Well, that was at the O, but at the Dexter Jackson Classic in 2011, he took first. I took second. Brandon Ray took third, and he was a fucking freak. But that show, I had to weigh in my trunks because I went in with fucking a pair of shorts on. It was 204. I was like, I'm not going to make fucking weight. And I came back. I took a piss, took my shorts off, came back with fucking trunks. I thought I was going to have to stand on the scale naked. That thing was like this.
Just made it.
I was like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Do you even think there's pictures of him? Dude, Nick, and I'm not even joking you. This guy had a fucking Flex Wheeler-esque physique. And in my opinion, could have been honestly one of the best bodybuilders. I mean,
Really?
Jose, do you remember his physique?
Yeah. He was a
Everybody's going to make fun of me right now because they're gonna be like, guy doesn't know technology and he sucks at sharing screen. Somebody's like, I love watching guy fumble on how to do
Mike,
this.
can you show a picture of him?
I'm going to try to fucking do it, but everybody gets mad when I do this because I'm not the fucking
Etienne. That guy's physique was so slick.
incredible.
So slick. And he was tall
Yeah.
too.
Very
He was
tall.
5'8" and beautiful physique.
What should I just type in his name? Vaughn.
Yeah, just like his name.
Etienne.
Spell it.
There's
ENNT Etienne.
No, ETIENNE. There you go. There you go.
Okay, here we go. Images.
There is. I think did he win the New York Pro?
I don't know. Let's click on here.
Yeah, let's see it. Now he had a great physique. He was but yeah, he had to take a 5-pound poop to make weight. And I think he was a boss.
Look, dude, look at he was a fucking 202 guy, bro.
How is that 202?
He was fucking
he was like a 202
incredible.
Sean Roden.
He
looks like Roden right there.
He does, dude.
Yeah, he got the Rodin look. That's 202. Wow.
Bro, how? I mean, he looks, I mean, and this is, you're going back like a while with the video footage. So this is not the clarity, but I mean, bro, this is like when he first like turned.
Look how full he looks too.
Even at his best, dude.
And he's
watch this. Watch
this. 202.
He had hollow fucking bones.
Yeah.
I just want to show Nick his back.
I'm so glad you brought him up because
look, I mean, he's,
a lot
you know
of people
what?
don't remember who this guy was.
His arms were so long, he could scratch his kneecap without fucking leaning over.
Yeah.
Huge. What a fucking shape he had, man.
Yeah. So he spanked you or what?
He beat me that show. Relax.
Yeah. He beat you in the what? The New York Pro?
No, at the Dexter Jackson Classic, he beat me.
Oh.
He looks, yeah, he's
crazy.
Crazy.
So we competed together at the 20. It was a show in Tampa. Was it maybe 2012? I don't know. It doesn't matter. So he was peeled. I beat him actually there. I did. I went to his hotel room the next day. Shut up. To hang out. You want to pull it up on fucking MD, idiot? He was laying in bed, so fat. He was having Vaughn. We were gonna hang out that day and like go grab a bite to eat. So I went to his hotel in Toronto. He was laying. I'll never forget. He was laying on his back on the bed when I walked in because he could put his door open. He gained 36 fucking pounds the night after the show into the morning. I went to his room late afternoon on Sunday. The next day, he was 36 fucking pounds over what he was on stage. He was so fat and had such a big gut that he looked like he was in the second trimester laying on his bed. I was like, this guy's gonna have a fucking heart attack. Vaughn, I hope you're watching this because I know you remember that. He so much weight. What Nick, you don't rebound.
Hold on.
I do, but not drastically.
Hey,
and it's shocking because I eat like shit.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Someone posted something today about
I didn't see it. I have no idea where you're going with this.
About what's his name? What's the British kid? The big black kid from England.
Samson?
Samson. Someone posted
one of the best bodybuilders in the fucking world.
Fox's name.
I don't know his name.
Fox's name.
I don't know. Dude, my brain's squashed.
Samson, I actually wasn't thinking Samson because I thought he was the obvious choice, so I wasn't going there.
Yeah, no, Samson. Beautiful physique, great physique.
What was said?
AMA, IFBB AMA posted a video of me talking from a while ago about my opinion of Nick versus Samson, and I was just honest with my own.
Can I pull it up?
Yeah. Go ahead. And it's not even people are gonna be like, Jose's friends with Nick.
The thing is,
wait, where was this posted?
Jose's
On
always,
YouTube?
it's on IG, right?
I'm always honest.
Jose's always honest, friend or not. Jose's honest.
Honest to a fault. Like Nick's parents hate me now because I told them he's probably not going to win. And they were like, "What? What do you mean?" I'm like, I think just the way the judging is going, he's probably not going to win. And
yeah, like, right there.
Samson's physique.
Yeah.
Okay, let's watch it. Shush, both of you.
We can't hear it.
Nice shirt.
We can't hear it.
Guy, we can't hear it.
Really?
Yes.
Dude, you were so out of control with your awful techie shit.
Now you just turn the volume off.
You said you couldn't hear it.
Yeah, but now you really turned it off. You hit the mute button.
Can't hear it. Turn it up.
It's loud as fuck.
They're comparing. Someone was comparing.
I'm fixing this live. I'm getting pissed.
Hold on. Jose, explain to me what the comparison was between Rich Gaspari and Lee Haney.
So I had said
they kind of cut that out, but
I had said that the muscularity between Nick and Samson was close, very close. And Nick's condition was a lot better. And so what are they judging? Just aesthetics or height, or what are they judging? Because if Nick wins on, these other areas of which I think muscularity and condition, the only thing that he wins is height and
the shape part.
Yeah, aesthetics. And so someone was arguing with me saying, well, Rich Gaspari was equally is massive as Lee Haney.
No.
And I'm like, what?
No.
What are you talking about? Like Nick in Samson are way closer in muscularity than Haney and Gaspari were.
100%.
Yeah. So it wasn't even close. I don't know who that person was and why they put that picture up, but because that was part of the thing. Oh, because Milos said it. Milos said, who's more muscular, Rich Gaspari or Lee Haney?
Lee Haney. And
I was like, why are you even saying that?
That's not a good comparison.
No, it wasn't. So me and Milos, I love Milos. We can't have good conversation about bodybuilding because we see things completely different.
I think, listen, I love Milos. I think Milos is very, very biased on his people. And
of course.
Which is fine. I have no problem with that.
I'm not biased because I don't train any of them.
Well, there's no reason to even be biased. Just
no,
listen, and I got a lot of shit for what I said about Samson in one of the HD Muscle YouTubes that I said his back is flat as a board.
So that was the thing. Someone brought up your front lat spread.
Okay,
said
it's shit. I know.
Said how can you?
That's one pose.
Compare these guys, and I said, well, what about Samson's rear double bicep. His rear double is bad. It's bordering on atrocious. It's not good at all.
No, but
Such
I
a
think
giant guy.
I think people, really took that out of context. I'm not going to justify it, but you're from Boston, me and Guy from Jersey, we speak in a certain way,
Yeah,
or it might come off kind of a dickheadish.
I don't
Listen,
care.
I don't care neither, but Samson's a great bodybuilder.
Yes.
He's improving like nobody's business right
He's
now.
incredible, and I'm
But
super happy for him.
me too. And he's such a very nice guy. I have nothing bad to say about him. But the reality is his back a little shallow? Yes, it is. Once his back can match his front, the reality is it's going to be lights out for a lot of people. All right, go.
All right, I want to talk about something.
Okay.
It's been avoided. It's the purple elephant in the room that nobody's talking about.
I have no clue where this is going.
Yeah. So I was on Instagram today, and I had done a podcast with Milos and Chris Tuttle, and they posted it today. It was done a month ago. And I discussed the whole
Spit it out. Jesus Christ.
Samson and Nick Walker thing.
What thing?
Okay.
What
It
thing?
was just my opinion. And
What thing?
What do you mean thing?
You said the Nick Walker thing and Samson thing.
won the
Who should
okay.
who should have? Yeah.
I didn't know if he was referring to the comment you made about. I didn't know about his back, or you're referring to his shot.
I commented that I thought Nick Walker should beat him, should have won
Based on what?
based on condition, muscularity, all the above. Now, Samson has a, can we say, prettier physique or whatever? I don't give a fuck about that. Like, I care about muscle condition, size. And it's not like Nick's not balanced. Nick has good legs, has great arms, has good pretty much everything. So it's not like he's not balanced. Just, yes, Samson wins aesthetically.
All right, then why does Nick lose then? Do you think? Because what was said was that
Doesn't.
I'm not trying to beat a dead horse because we've talked about this fucking before, but since we're on the topic, they said Nick's legs were flat and he didn't bring the wow factor.
That's the only thing that's the only.
Okay, now based on that,
You hear me?
yeah.
What just happened? I don't see you guys.
Wasn't me this time. I see you.
We see you.
What
You
the-
probably clicked something on the Zoom.
I didn't click a damn.
Are you on
There
your,
we go. All right. All right.
old
So-
men for the win? But hold on. Stop. So Nick, I asked, why does Nick lose? You said, well, he doesn't lose, but his legs are flat. What? So Samson's pretty. And listen, I also don't
His
think
legs were crazy.
I also don't think people realize how much credit we give Samson, because I think Samson is a fucking phenomenal bodybuilder.
He's an Adonis.
And he's an even better human being. So
Yeah.
let's throw that there right now.
Here's the thing.
Hold on. However, I am in agreement, because I've said it before, that I also do think that Nick could have won the Arnold. But I want to know, why did if Nick's legs were flatter, why did Samson win?
That was okay. That was the only issue.
Hold on. I know. Jose, I want Jose. No, I'm talking Jose. So why does Samson win it?
Because Nick's weakness was Samson's strength. Like, Nick's legs were down, Samson's legs were crazy.
Okay, but what about my back and his?
No,
back?
we don't. We're getting there.
No, and I'm going to get to that. But that's why they have a reason to do what they did. And don't think there's not a plot, a dramatization.
Are you saying a storyline in a way?
Yes,
there's a storyline. for
there
sure.
is a storyline. It just looks amazing. This kid comes out of nowhere from England. He's gigantic. He's tall. And don't think, and I'm going to get in trouble for this, but I honestly think Arnold has something to do with it. I think Arnold has something to do with the judging of that show.
Well, hold on. Now, I'm not disagreeing or agreeing. However, what I am going to do is for that to hold true, right? Wasn't there a year where Kai won and he did not want Kai winning? And hold on, he made it very well known on stage that he didn't have Kai.
And ever since, there's been some weird decisions.
Keep going. As far as Cedric won after that.
Yep.
And
he deserved it.
Of 100%. There was one that Luke did that he was third. I forget what year that was. That Luke took third.
I was at that one.
Luke could have won. He looked phenomenal. Fucking God rest his soul.
I don't know that he should have won, but I thought he looked awesome.
No, I'm saying he could have, even though he was in third, anybody could have argued that if he was in first, nobody would have fucking got out. I think that was the year Dennis. Who won that one year?
No, I don't think it was. I think it was Brandon. I think it was Brandon.
I think you're right.
I think it was Brandon. Yeah.
So now let me ask you on that topic of building a storyline. Do you agree or disagree with that? If that was the case, if they said, you know what, it's close.
I just think.
Hold on. Stop. Let's say they said, okay, this is close, Nick and Samson, which it was.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, you know what? It's a toss up. We're going with Samson. Nick already had his fucking win. We're going to go with Samson this time. And if we do that, there's going to build some fucking tension and some hype going into the and that's a great thing for the sport. Now, in that scenario, because in that scenario, that there's no right or wrong. It was a toss up, and they're saying Nick had it. Let's give it to the new guy and fucking make these two go at each other's throats on stage and see who fucking wants it more. Is that a bad thing? Is that a bad thing?
Here's the thing.
Do you disagree? Hold on.
Well, it's a bad thing when you're talking about someone's family.
Exactly.
Someone's lifestyle.
Okay. Let me speak. Let me speak now. Listen, I got a lot of shit for all the shit I said about Samson on that HD Muscle YouTube video, about his back being flat as a board. People took that really out of context, obviously, because of where we're from. We just say whatever. We don't think twice about it. We don't really mean any harm by it. It's just, that's the way we speak. I don't think truly his back is flat as a board, but do I think, he needs to work on his back? Yes. And he knows this. Do I have any tremendously weak body parts that need to be drastically brought up, in my opinion? No. Do my legs need to come up? Sure. But you could also justify that, why not bring everything up?
Yeah.
I think where my problem lacks is I just need to work on certain poses. That's, fixing the front lat spread, things of this nature. Which,
what did I tell you?
I don't know. You tell me a lot of things.
I said, I'm coming out there to help you with posing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, but as an overall package that I brought to the Arnold versus his package to the Arnold, seeing how I looked at the Olympia, how he looked at the Olympia, I progressed a lot more than he did. I may not have been as full as the Olympia, if that's the biggest issue here. I wasn't sure, but I still felt I was full enough. I was conditioned. I was dry. I was hard. I was peeled. I was tight. I was everything that, in my opinion, should have won that show. And do I think, Samson drastically changed from the Olympia to the Arnold? No, I don't, honestly.
Could you say that?
I think he drastically changed.
Hold on. Do you think Samson
to finals?
So my question is this.
He did look better, but I'm just talking as an overall.
No. So hear me out. Whether it was prejudging and to the night show and drastically changed, do you think the Arnold Classic, whether it was prejudging or night show, I don't give a fuck which one, do you think it was his best package to date?
Yes.
Okay.
Samson's, yeah.
Okay. Now, argument number two. Samson, up and coming bodybuilder, one of the best, fucking crazy everything. Has the tools to be a Mr. Olympia at his best, and then Nick at his best minus his legs are flat. Does that do that, or does that still do you do that? Because this is good, because I'm asking you, because this is how judging's done. Like, this is a lot of things that people might not take in consideration when they're fucking pencil on pen. Like, people don't, or pencil on paper. People don't realize that there's a lot of different things that go into it. So I'm asking you, because these are things that would be going through my head if I was sitting judging them too, unbiasedly.
I think it still should go to the remaining winner at the time.
No, it has nothing to do with the remaining winner. It's who looks the best. And I thought you looked the best. I thought you had the best condition side,
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
behind.
I just thought, since I already won it technically, and with the package that I had, granted, I guess it doesn't matter, but I don't feel Samson overpowered me enough to beat me.
So here's my queef.
Don't queef on our show.
Is that
Just hey, Jose, move this camera a little closer,
I think, what do you mean?
because you're super far away and your volume is not easy to hear.
I think that for some reason, the Arnold Classic changes hands more than any other show. I think so. If you look at the 212 Arnold Classic,
there hasn't been.
every single year was a different country winning it.
Yep.
Yeah.
From Wales to US to Japan to Kuwait to Lebanon.
David never won it, right?
No.
Yeah.
But I just think it's kind of curious that the judging at the Arnold Classic is a little weird, a little suspect.
Do you think they could have Arnold on the panel?
No, I think Arnold has a call. I think that I don't know this, and I don't speak to, obviously I'm not going to ask Steve that, or I don't know that, but I just feel from my own experience that it's been.
You feel that he might not have like the final say, but you think that he has an opinion and that he gives about who should and shouldn't win.
I do.
Okay.
I do think that Arnold.
I mean, I could see that. I mean, it's his fucking show. I mean, he could definitely be like, "Hey guys, I don't, if I was on that
I
panel."
don't think that Arnold likes short, stocky bodybuilders.
No, he loved Cedric, and that's why Cedric was a taller version of like a Arnold.
Right.
He had those lines, that shape, it wasn't peeled, but had crazy line. Like that was Arnold. Like Arnold was never peeled. He never had glutes. He didn't have crustaceans in his quad. He had lines. He was, back then they didn't have that crazy conditioning until like the Munzers came around and shit. But yeah, I mean, like my thing I thought I'm a conditioning guy when I watch shows. So conditioning for me personally, because I wasn't never a mass monster, conditioning, right, went to Nick. Now, I also, Jose, like you, I also can appreciate good posing and transitions and flow and a wow factor in regards to routine, which Samson brought. We're judging bodybuilding. So unbiasedly, and I was cheering for them both because I'm fans of fucking both of them, but I thought the conditioning for me went to Nick, and that was where I would have given it to Nick, because Nick doesn't really have a flaw. And that was, like you said, he was flat in one area. And although he was flat in that area, he also made up ground at night because he knew he was flat. Nick knew he was a little flat at prejudging. So he filled the gap and closed the gap at the night show. And so did Samson, because Samson got tremendously better at the night show. But when I said, on this podcast, and then I said it also on Bro Chat, that I said, what happens to the term of you have to knock out the champ? And even though Nick wasn't the defending champ that year, because I think Brandon had it the year prior, I still think that you have to be substantially better to beat the guy that was on top and hadn't been knocked off yet, because Nick didn't get knocked off the year later. He just didn't go. So you know what I'm saying? So
I don't believe in the whole knock off the champ thing.
In
It's
regard, why not? You just think the better guy, no matter what.
You win. But I do think that Nick was at an all-time best condition.
Yeah.
And I think he brought a presentation that was his all-time best. Even though he didn't win,
Yeah.
I thought it was his all-time best. Even though his legs were a little down, I just thought the whole presentation was significantly better than we'd seen in the past. Now, the whole thing about knocking out the champ.
Why don't you think that's true? Because a lot of, that's been said a lot, whether people want to say it's said, so it's talked about. So there's got to be some sort of fucking
comment. What do you mean you're gonna knock out the champ?
knock.
You beat him by 1 point, you win.
True.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm not saying that phrase to hold truth. I'm asking a question.
Yeah, no,
Angry
I don't
fuck.
believe in that. And to be honest with you, I would have been okay with any of the top three winning. I thought Andrew was fucking amazing.
Andrew looked insane.
He looked incredible.
insane.
And if you want to judge a tall, aesthetic bodybuilder, then Andrew's my man.
Would you have had Andrew above Samson? Or did you?
If that was the protocol.
No, I'm asking you in that show, would you have, if they were standing there, would you have had?
I think it was very close. I thought it was very close. Like.
So then would you have had him beating Nick if that was the case?
No, I would have, and that's the weird thing. I would have either had Nick winning
Or Nick in third.
or Andrew winning.
Okay.
I didn't see Samson winning because he wasn't as pretty as Andrew. He didn't have the same aesthetically pleasing look as Andrew. He was equally as big and impressive, but Nick was the most muscular of all of them. And people are like arguing with me, like, no, Samson had 40 pounds.
So yeah, let's go to what you actually said. And so this was going, because what you were saying was you said something about Samson and then we went off on a fucking tangent. So this started, you said there was drama because you did a podcast with IFBB AMA.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And this was it, right?
Yeah.
All right. So let's refresh this. We had to stop earlier. The reason why this is clipped together is because I didn't fucking do the audio.
Physique, beat.
You guys hear it? Thumbs up.
That's exactly how I structured it on purpose. And not saying you didn't deserve to beat him, right? And you instantly said on conditioning. Which level of conditioning is enough to overcome this kind of balance, shape, aesthetics?
It comes down to the person, to the judge, to the individual. Because to this day, I still wouldn't have had him beating Nick Walker. If it's balance in shape, then yes.
Did Rich Gaspari ever beat Lee Haney?
No, that's a great point. But I don't think that was even close in muscularity, where Nick and Samson are comparable with muscularity.
Okay.
Exactly what I just said.
So what are you getting? Like, what's the backlash about? Because you had an opinion?
He said I should have won.
No, people are saying that that Nick and Samson aren't comparable in muscularity. And I'm like, are you
Wait, saying that Samson outmuscles Nick?
Yeah, because he's
Samson's 6 feet tall, right? About?
Yeah.
Nick is 5'7". Nick was 300 pounds in his off season. Samson was 300 pounds in his off season. And Samson wasn't fat either. He was not fat.
But Nick was like 250.
So to explain to me on fucking paper on a mathematical equation how a lean 300 pounds at 5'7" and a lean 300 pounds at 6 feet tall, you can say that one has more muscle than the other, especially when Nick was very fucking lean. So I don't understand what the argument is this. They're both great fucking bodybuilders.
Yeah, we are.
And it's a fucking hard comparison depending upon what your
Say it right now. Nick is gonna beat Samson at the Olympia.
I have Nick winning the
Yeah.
Olympia. There's no,
I'm not even gonna say he's gonna win the Olympia. I'm just gonna say he's beating Samson at the Olympia.
Here's the thing, people think I'm bitter, because I lost the Arnold and I'm talking about it so much and blah, blah, blah. That's not the case. I'm not bitter. Am I upset? Yeah, I'm allowed to be. I lost. It's fine. It took second. It sucks. But I have nothing, ill feelings towards Samson at all. I think Samson's great. I think he's a phenomenal bodybuilder, more so a phenomenal person at that. Yeah. But we're critiquing physiques. It's nothing personal. I get critiqued 24/7. And anyone who knows me, especially a guy, when I lose, it normally doesn't happen again. So the people don't understand there's a fire lit under my ass, and I'm not the type of person to, feel sorry for myself at all. I took a loss. I'm going to be angry about it for a few hours, and then I move on to bigger and better things.
People say that you feel bitter about it. Let me ask you a question. If you were in the Super Bowl in 2023 and you lost, do you think you're only going to talk about it fucking a handful of times? You're going to talk about it until you make it back to the fucking Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Because that's what fucking, that's like, and if you can't understand talking about your last game until the next one comes, then you're a fucking idiot. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's not that I understand. And
I don't plan on losing an Olympia or an Arnold again after that.
Nick, and what's great about, like I said it earlier, when I was watching you and Samson compete at the Arnold, it like brought a spark back in from a bodybuilding standpoint that I haven't had in 2 years because I haven't been on stage. And, being every day, me and you get closer, in our friendship because we just have the podcast and, just other things that people don't know and how close we are. Me being able to be a part, even though I'm not there and training with you, like just being a part of the progress pictures or the day, like makes me so involved to a point where like in my head, like you're never going to lose another bodybuilding show. Cause that's how much faith I have in you as a person. And, I had a conversation about you the other day about somebody saying, yeah, I wasn't really, he goes, I really wasn't, it was my friend. He goes, I really wasn't a fan of Nick in the beginning because I was like, who the fuck is this kid walking around saying like, he's not going to lose and he's this. And he goes, but when he started doing it, that's when I was like, wow, this kid he's not cocky. He's really confident about who he is as a person and a bodybuilder. And that's fucking cool. Mm-hmm. And I became more of a fan of you because of that. So I get enjoyment out of being in your corner, because, Samson has his guys that, has his camp host. I had my people when I was going and it's cool to have the support like that.
Oh yeah.
I want to see Samson win everything. And I want to see you win everything. If you guys are both on stage, me and you are brothers, Samson and I are very tight. I love the guy this, but I obviously want to see one of my closest friends win. And it's very hard when you have guys on stage competing that are friends with each other because like when Milos turned around, I was like, why are you cheering for both of them? I'm like, because they're both my fucking friends. And I want Nick to win. But if Nick doesn't win, I will be happy that Samson won because Samson is fucking somebody that I really admire as a person and a bodybuilder. And I don't know why that's so fucking hard for people to understand. And moving forward, since I haven't interrupted anybody, when you're talking about bodybuilders, you have to do this. Who has the better physique? It doesn't matter how good of a person they are, how fucking nice they were when you met them, how fucking, how they answered your DM. It's about the fucking physicality and the.
I smoked you in that show, by the way.
You got one place ahead of me, you fucking.
You just covered our faces. I smoked you.
You're fucking high.
I smoked you.
I smoked you.
Nick, what do you think?
I looked like I was 50 pounds heavier than you.
You look like you're fucking in the second trimester, you fucking loser.
That's all right.
Yeah, you got a nice chest, guy.
Yeah, guy had a nice chest.
You suck it.
I spanked in the worst way. Anyway, what I want to say is fuck all this shit. This is all bullshit. And the whole Samson and Nick thing, I want Samson to be amazing at the Olympia.
He will be.
I want him to,
There's
but
no doubt.
when you're talking about Derek Lunsford, Hadi Chupin, Nick Walker, Samson has a whole different ball game going into this Olympia.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a completely, like, who matches up best with Hadi and Derek? Because you know those are the two best in the world.
Yep.
Who matches up best with them?
Nick.
Exactly. Nick is short and wide and crazy huge.
And what I do like about Samson is he brings something very unique. He's got something about him, like just his,
Yeah, no,
he brings something different, and that's exciting. Like Samson
Samson has his own style.
and I'm a fan of it. And I think it's fucking awesome because it sets him apart from everybody, you know? And I really admire, he's got that like eye of the tiger. And I know it sounds fucking cornballish to say, but like, you know, like Nick's got it. Like some people, like when they're getting ready for shows, like you can look at him and be like that much, like it's in his fucking soul. Samson has it. Like somebody that goes and gets quarantined for 14 days and runs in place and still competes and looks fucking tremendous and never fucking missed a beat. And, you know, was in a really bad, shitty situation is just as impressive as somebody getting a fucking hip replacement and fucking getting qualified for the first time at his fucking first ever Olympia, like Roman Fritz. Like that stuff to me is huge accolades in themselves. And you know, I don't think people, you know, people hear us critique the bodybuilder because of a physique and they go, oh, that's fucked up. I can't, but it's like, we're talking about the body. Like, don't twist our words out of
I
context.
don't want anyone listening to think that I dislike Samson or I don't appreciate what he's done. I think he's amazing. I'm simply giving my opinion about where I think.
And you got 3 Northeasterns on the phone. Jose, when we talk on the phone, how many times do I make fun of you in a 30-minute period?
Well, every time.
How much do you make fun of me in a 30-minute period?
The entire time.
So if Nick, instead of saying, yeah, Samson's back is shit, would you take it as Nick hates Samson, or that's just the fucking like northeast way of being like, yeah, he doesn't have a back. Like when you say, guy, your arms suck.
Yeah, your arms look like a 12-year-old girl.
Just like your fucking penis looks like a 12-year-old boy.
Doesn't matter. I haven't even trained. My arms are still bigger than yours.
Take your shirt off right now on camera.
Doesn't
Right now.
matter.
Take your fucking shirt off.
No.
Take it off. You want to make fun of my arms? Take your fucking shirt off.
I look like a fucking melted candle. I'm not taking my shirt off. But I have more arms than you.
You got to come up with a new one because Fuad called us that. You're going to get yelled at.
Called us what?
Melted candles.
Did he really?
Yeah, he's going to say you're recycling his words.
Oh, fuck him.
Oh, jeez.
Fuck Fuad and fuck bro chat. No, I love Fuad. I love the bro chat and all that.
Oh, and all that.
And all that.
I know why everybody thinks like, if I get tagged in one more thing, people thinking like that, I fucking hate everybody.
No.
Like somebody, hold on, I'm going to read. So we put a thing out before we did it. I made a hard post and somebody, I got so, you know, sometimes I'm just like, it doesn't bother me. It just, it bothers me.
I honestly like Fuad,
bothers
and I like that he invited me on his show a couple of times. I don't see people getting upset that you have a podcast.
So somebody goes, these are a lot of good questions, actually. Here it is. It wasn't even a comment. It was just directed right at me. Did he delete it?
Hold on, I'm gonna piss.
Okay, he goes, you want me to wait for you, Jose?
Yeah.
Are you up or are you in your basement? Nick, but like, like in my career, right? While he's fucking holding his little teeny weenie in his hand. If you sprinkle why you think will be neat and wipe the seat. Like I had a problem with that. Yeah, right.
That's funny.
I had a problem because like I would critique people's physiques and they would get upset with me. Like, and I was talking about 212 guys. Like I would say Jose's like I could beat Jose in a side chest. I thought I could beat David Henry in certain poses because, and then I would go on. And some of those guys would take like umbrage to the fact. And I'm like, guys, like we're talking body. Like, do you want me to say all guys are perfect and everybody looks phenomenal? Like if I didn't feel I
That's
didn't
exactly what they want though.
like if I didn't win a show and I felt I should have, and I break down the reasons why, and I feel like I beat him into the, like, if I broke down 8 poses and I was like, I think I won 5, he won 3, that's okay. But bro, so many fucking people would get upset if you didn't just say, yes, I agree that I lost. And I'm like, no, I can say I don't think I lost because this isn't like across a fucking goal line touchdown or a TKO or a KO. Like this ain't that type of fucking fight. It's not. So
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about where when I was competing and we were competing, like I would make, comments about like, I think I beat Jose in a side chest because I have a better chest than that.
So wrong.
I'm so right. Shut up. Or I would say like I beat David Henry in this pose because I think I have, better legs, or I beat
Yeah, you're wrong again.
a lot of these guys would get upset and like almost be bothered at the fact that you weren't just okay with the placing. But what I was saying was you could take, if I wanted to sit on a podcast and say, hey, these are the 8 fucking poses. I think I won these 5. I think he won those 3. In my opinion, I think they won. I beat you once.
In any way, shape, or form.
I did. I pull up the fucking pictures. But I think the bodybuilders, Jose, are they're too sensitive with taking critique or constructive criticism if it comes from another bodybuilder. If it comes from an innocent bystander or a judge, nobody says a word. But the minute it comes from somebody that's competing against them, they take it as if they're like coming at them. Like, do you not like Jose? We've had talks about this. Like, you would say, well, I think that fucking pose sucks on you. And I'm like, it does. Like, we'll try to fix it. Like, why do you think people get so, is it because of the social media thing? I mean, everybody's giving them such positive feedback throughout the fucking, weeks when they're posting that they get one negative thing and they fucking fly off the handle.
I think social media plays the biggest role because it's like, look, the video, one of me is talking about Samson, a bunch of people, it went viral. So people who always, they heard it. And now they're probably getting their DMs flooded like, oh, look what this person.
Well, people like negativity.
Back in the day, and that's a sad part. I wasn't being negative. Like I wasn't intentionally.
No, but they twisted it.
Of course, that's what they always do.
That's the media.
And it's like, listen, it's an opinion. Like, this is how I feel. It's nothing against them, And I think it doesn't really bother me, but maybe a little bit.
We've all said that in this podcast.
Right. It doesn't bother me, but that's why we're talking about it.
We'll just say it doesn't bother me. This is the podcast titled, It Doesn't Bother Me.
It doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me, but it
bothers me.
But it bothers me a little bit.
I think what bothers me is it's like,
you all right?
You all right, buddy?
I'll tell you what bothers me.
Hold on, I'm first.
No.
I think what bothers
a New Jersey guy.
No.
Your boy Phil Viz. That's the only guy that ever bothered me. I'm like,
wait, let Nick finish talking. He's going to forget. Shut up, A+ supplements. Hold on.
I think what bothers me is anybody can say what they want about me and my physique and this and that, and there's no problem. No one bats an eye. But when I do it, it's the biggest issue in the fucking world. And it's like, if I take it people think I was going to be dead by the time I was 26, 27 years old. Why is it okay for people to say shit like that? No one cares. But if I say, oh, I think this person's got a shit back, it's like, oh my God, you're hating. Like, no, not at all.
Did you ever get in a situation like Nick where or something was like, obviously this wasn't taken out of context, but anything that was taken out of context that like blew up for no reason?
Who you asking?
I said, I literally prefaced with Jose.
Okay, say it again.
Are you okay? How many edibles did you have?
None, but I'll try it.
Drinks?
Many.
What did you drink tonight? I could tell.
You can't tell shit.
I could tell. How
Nick?
many? What, did you have dirty martinis?
No.
What,
I
beer?
regret-
He's like, no.
No, a couple beers. We're good.
So go ahead, finish. Let me hear this.
So say what's the question?
Nick,
You didn't hear the question.
repeat it for me, Nick.
I actually forget the question. Oh, I remember. It's have you, Jose, have you ever been in an incident where something was taken out of context and blown up all over?
And you got a lot of
And you got a lot of hate for it or shit.
talking about industry stuff. Like, I know there's a couple times where certain people freaked the fuck out on you, but like, is there an incident you can remember where like something you said that maybe wasn't negative got fucking twisted around so much that you had to dig yourself out of a fucking hole for no reason?
Yeah. So
Okay.
back in like 2010 or 11, they asked me, and it was a wonderful quote. They asked me about my placing, and I said,
At what show? The Olympia? Okay.
and with the muscular development, I said, we're in Las Vegas, which is a desert. I'm like, these people are seeing a mirage having Flex Lewis beat me. They're having a total mirage. They're seeing things that aren't actually there. And they printed it in the magazine. And I got shit for that for forever. And the only person,
From people or just people higher ups?
everyone. And the only one that didn't give me shit was Flex. He was like, I love it, bro. I love it. I love it. And I'm like,
Why do you think the sensitivity is at like an all-time high in our industry and people can't? Do you think, and Nick said, unless I'm wrong, Nick, Nick said he believed what I said, that the social media and positive reinforcement is so high.
Yeah.
Like nobody gets bullied.
Well, I think
Like, I know that
it's-
sounds bad, but like maybe
No,
some
no.
people need to get a little bullied to like have a little thicker skin.
I think it's two things. I think it heightens positivity, but it also heightens negativity.
Yeah.
So where like, yeah, when I post a picture or anyone posts a picture, they have their, their group of people, but if something negative gets said about them, they're going to get DMs of all of it, of like, look what so-and-so said, look what this said, look what this said. And at the end of the day, I'm not going to speak for everyone, but I don't really think we give a fuck. Like,
No.
There's
what I love about you, Nick, is that you continuously post update photos.
and I always will.
Yeah,
I see in that, like, so there's a double-edged sword, because I agree with you, Jose. However, during my career, I fucking never did it until later on in my career when I actually was at
Why?
like my
Why?
decline, because we're in a constant state of in the now,
yeah.
and everything is organic. Everybody sees everything. And what I loved about bodybuilding when I was growing up was the simple fact that I didn't know what anybody looked like, and I didn't have an idea. But every magazine that came out, I think Jose can attest to this, was like 3 months behind. If you got March's issue, it went back to December stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I liked the surprise factor and the wow factor and these guys walking on stage that you really didn't see that often, unless they were like pictures in a magazine or maybe from last year, or maybe Mitsuru went and filled a battle for the Olympia that year. But that was, you never got it like before so it was always just like the unknown that isn't there anymore. And I think it says something about the guy that kind of works in silence. However, we're in a stage in life and social media where if you have sponsors and you have to do certain things and post certain things to have your obligations fulfilled. So I understand why he does it. I always liked, like Sean Clarita, whole post update pictures. And then like 8 weeks out, he's like, this is the last one y'all motherfuckers are getting. You ain't getting another one.
Here's the thing. I do it because I just like for people to see my entire journey leading up to the show.
Yeah.
Now I always get the comments, oh, you should hide, you should do this. People didn't understand. Yeah, I post a lot, that's fine. Yeah. But what you look like, say on a Thursday, if I post a picture, may not be anything you look like Friday for the show.
Might not be Thursday. I mean, you might be nothing. You might look different Thursday than Thursday night.
I'll never forget. I posted a picture of myself. It was a Friday morning before the Olympia. Flat as a motherfucker.
I called you.
And people were like, oh my God, he's flat. He's not going to be ready. Oh my God. I showed up at night 4 as a shit brick fucking house. And everyone was like, oh shit. That's the point. That's why I do it, because it doesn't matter what I look like a day before, 8 hours before. It's going to be completely different the moment I step on stage.
Yep. I think we talked that day. You sent me those pictures in the morning and I go, insane. I go, just make sure you fill the fuck up.
Matt, don't play, man.
And that when you looked, that was exactly what you did. Because I thought the same thing, but people don't realize that that's where you want to be in that moment. You don't want to be anywhere else.
So when Friday morning, you shouldn't be full already.
Oh, you should be on the flatter side.
You should be a little flat so you can cruise right in. If you wake up the Friday before the show and you're already full as a shitbrick house, where do you really go from there? Yeah,
Jose, you, speaking of fullness, you never, unless I could be wrong, excuse me. You used to use the term, I eat like a bird the day of the show.
Yeah.
What do you tell people why or the reason behind? Because
is that for a gut
I don't know why I had the hiccups. I know Jose just always, where the fuck did this come from? Jose always say to me, well, it'd be good to talk for.
I barely ate.
Yeah. Why? What was the reasoning? Because you did you just not eat a lot of food leading up? And I also know, tell me if I'm wrong, you also were the guy that liked to do more cardio than he was supposed to. And a lot of people are going to think that's crazy, but I know for a fact there was a lot of times, or if you were supposed to be doing 30, you'd be doing 30 twice a fucking day. And so am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah, no, I did an average of 2 hours a day. And every prep, I did 2 hours on the step mill. And I was never flat. I wanted to go into a show flat so I could be peeled, because I was, for my height, I carried a lot of muscle, so I could afford to be flat. I didn't have the option of being full, because if I was full, I'd have a gut. I wouldn't be able to compete with the best guys. I had to be as lean and as thin as possible. Empty stomach.
Was it more of a stomach issue? Because one of your major knocks was your stomach, holding your stomach in, having a wide waist. Was doing that more a reason of the fact that you didn't want your stomach to stick out, or just because you actually think your physique looked better that way?
Both.
Okay.
I couldn't, my physique looked better with an empty stomach, so I could pull a vacuum. And it just I didn't look, I wasn't going to win if I had a full stomach.
Yeah.
Full of food. So I would eat the day before, and then the morning of, I'd have a normal breakfast, and then I wouldn't eat anything before the show.
But your normal breakfast was like pancakes and shit, right?
No. I would have grits, cream of rice.
Okay.
And some egg whites. That's it.
Love cream of rice.
So, and was there ever like, or I'm gonna ask both of you two, Nick, is there a like a specific like caloric dense carb you would use to pump up? Like Chris always liked using muffins or Pop-Tarts or toaster strudels, or like, was there anything you did backstage, Nick?
Matt was a big fan of Chick-fil-A fries.
Real okay. Okay. Now why?
Specifically Chick-fil-A.
I know because that's then he made those shirts up that said Cam. What was it what was it about those fries specifically? Do you know by any chance?
No, I just think because he told the story. I think it was when he
There's
did
gonna be
one-
Chick-fil-A fries behind the McFlurry show.
Yeah, right. Because he one of his, I think it was his last show he did when he did USA's where he took third. He went to do a refeed one day and he had Chick-fil-A and he noticed it just digested extremely well in his stomach.
Okay.
So then as far, during my preps, I know Charles, Brett, he would put, if we were able to have a cheat meal, he would tell us to get like Chick-fil-A. And then we all kind of noticed like, oh shit, this digested well, we're hungry. So I just think he goes with, the Chick-fil-A, method of, we'll just stick with it and use their fries.
Yeah.
I would eat granola bars, a granola bar backstage. That's it. I'd have a
What?
granola bar. That's it.
What was the show that you remember? I walked in. We were at the Olympia, dude. Nick, I walked into this motherfucker's room, and he's like, "I'm like, what the fuck is that on your bed?" He's like, "Oh, I ate so fucking much. I threw up in my sleep last night," and he was fucking like smudge and throw up like stain on his fucking pillow. Do you remember that?
Probably. I don't know.
You don't remember?
No.
Oh, yeah.
But I had bad sleep apnea. So I would throw up in my sleep.
You gotta get the CPAP, bro.
Yeah, no, I've fixed it since, but
How'd you
What'd you
get a puke bag?
Yeah, what do you mean you fixed
no,
it?
I used to like almost every night I would wake up in the middle of the night with a mouthful of puke and I'd be
It's acid reflux, right?
yeah. And I would have to make the decision, like, do I go spit it out or just swallow it? Most times I just swallowed it and went back to sleep.
That's really good for your fucking gut health and your esophagus and all that.
Yeah, it wasn't good. But I fixed that. So listen, I want to talk about something. Carlos Thomas Jr.
Oh, yeah.
I was at
was he that as impressive?
oh my God, dude. And the only reason I bring it up is because Nick Walker is here and he gives me the Nick Walker feeling of like, oh my God, like
he's a freak, man.
He's a mutant. He's a mutant like Nick Walker. Like a total fucking mutant. Like it didn't even make sense how big his legs were. And
this one right here?
Yeah.
Yeah. His arms and legs are just, they don't even make sense.
He's doing Texas, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, Nick, he has like 24-inch arms.
I know.
And like 36-inch legs.
He's very impressive. Wow.
Like his legs are just so stupid. And in person, he looks normal.
Yeah. Yep.
I spent a lot of time with him. We talked a lot.
Great human being.
Gave me a big
he is awesome guy.
And his father.
He's a sweetheart of a guy, but
yeah,
I couldn't fathom like how his legs look like that.
Look at the size of him, dude.
I mean, his waist has to be 30 inches.
That's
right?
incredible. Yeah,
and
wild.
his legs have to be 36 inches. Like I've never seen anything like that in person.
You know, it's cool. It's awesome when you got a guy like that. That's a fresh face, down to earth, smart, approachable.
Good kid.
His dad is always with him. He's a family guy. His girlfriend's always support him. His girlfriend's a sweetheart. Did she just compete or turn pro or something? She just competed and did very well. And he's just a good fucking kid. And he is a fucking another fucking freak from Jersey, bro.
I know.
He's another fucking.
He's a Nick Walker. Like when you saw Nick coming up, you're like, what is that? And this kid is the same thing.
What is that?
He's freaky. See, I remember before I was a pro, he would train at this Delaware gym. And I met him for the first time years ago, like before I even did North American to turn pro. And even then, I was like, "What a big boy."
Freak back then?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. What?
Met
So
him in 2016. He was a middleweight,
Yeah.
76. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, he looks good, nothing. And then out of nowhere, like a couple years later, I'm like, what the fuck?
he
is
That's
this?
just that's just what happens when you work hard, you know.
did speaking of working hard, I mean, I don't know if you guys are close with them, but man, like for somebody who's had hip replacement surgery, Jose, it's got to be somewhat of a fucking testament of somebody's will that can get a fucking. I don't know of any other bodybuilder that has won a pro show with a fake fucking hip or knee or shoulder, but Roman
fake
Fritz, Roman Fritz won a show this past
And
week.
he looked great.
And my only knock on Roman, I mean, obviously he could be bigger. His arms are just not big.
Yeah, but you know what? The combination this time
But
was
dude,
perfect.
he is such a fucking hard working motherfucker, and like is so meticulous with his details and like how he eats, and like just watching him like constantly pose, and like he doesn't miss a beat. And like when he won, I'm like, fucking yeah, dude. Like good for fucking you, Roman. Because like
Me too.
I got
was
bad
happy.
shoulders, and I wanted to fucking, I was like, maybe I get shoulder replacements early in life and compete. And I know I can't. Like there's no, and for somebody that's gotten 2 hip replacements and fucking look like his legs look incredible.
Yep.
And I'm just so stoked that he is going to the fucking O, because that guy has busted his fucking ball sack to fucking get to the O. And I don't care if he never makes it to another O. I know just the fact that he did this is
this means the world to him.
oh God, man. And that is just fucking awesome.
But I mean, he looked great. He looked phenomenal.
I mean, dude, for 2 hip replacements, Jose, I mean, come on. I mean, fuck, dude. It's nuts.
Incredible. He has amazing structure.
Yeah.
That's the number one thing, is that he has incredible structure. Small waist, big, round, sweeping quads.
Where are we?
In great condition, you know, and he's still young.
What the hell's going on here? Where's this going? I don't know where this is going. Why is it not opening? Where's Roman going?
Roman.
Now let me play this one. Clicking on it.
Nick, can he beat you at the Olympia?
No.
Something wrong with that video. Well, that's not that one.
No.
No. Who can beat you at the Olympia?
Here, let's
This year.
hold on.
Yeah.
Let's just can we just take a second? Like,
Yeah.
okay, look at his fucking the density in his legs and the separation. I mean, look at the fucking glutes from the
Does he-
side. Dude, that's like Munzer-esque fucking conditioning. Like that's like I don't think people give him enough credit and talk, because he is. I mean, dude, that's I don't know. That is super impressive to me.
I don't know about the thong, but
I mean, I know, but hey, you know, at
He
least
looks
he's winning.
great.
At least he's winning something.
I'm very happy for him.
This is the only pose of his that I'm just like, I'm not a fan of. But I
It's
mean,
not even bad. He's got great lats,
great.
great width, great taper. He just doesn't have big arms.
Yeah, because from the side they look crazy. They got the little fucking. They got like a baseball, like the round. I mean, I'm just like, that's fucking crazy, dude. Nick, that's crazy. Look at his fucking glutes.
I know.
And his back is his back is a little. I think it's structurally a little odd, like almost like through the curvature of it. Because next to the other guy, the guy had more like detail through his erectors and rhomboids, but like overall, man,
It's how he's posing. He's like rounding,
like this way instead of like coming up, right? That's why I said I don't know if it's a structure thing or just how he is. because he's peeled and he hits that shot and like there's no Christmas tree, but then he opens it up like that and it looks insane.
Yeah.
I just want to say, Roman, if you watch us,
Congratulations.
congratulations, dude. Fucking super impressive, man. Can't wait to see it, Theo. It was fucking great job.
He watches it
How do you know?
because I know.
He watches it.
So let's I had a lot more questions to ask you guys, but I posted a
Do them quickly.
question. Why, you got in a fucking rush?
Just hurry the fuck up.
You're such an angry fuck.
Just
All right. What legacy does Nick want to leave behind when he's done competing and accomplished a lot? What ventures would you like to go into business wise, et cetera, et cetera?
Was that my mom's question?
No.
Oh.
John Benjamin, 98.
Legacy. I think, I want to obviously win a bunch of Olympias, but I think I want to be known as the guy that, always believed in himself and stood his own and, gave belief in other people to be able to do the same.
I like that.
Yeah.
As far as business ventures, there's certain things I'm digging into now. I don't really want to speak on just yet. But there's some cool things in the mix that I'm excited about.
That's awesome. I'm excited to see what you do business wise during your career, because I think you have the capacity to do some business stuff during your career, and I think you have a long life ahead of you, bodybuilding and after bodybuilding. So it's going to be pretty impressive. Don't you fucking yawn. There's no yawning on this podcast. You fuck. What about you, Jose? What did you want your legacy to be? Because you had one of the most outstanding records of any bodybuilder that ever stepped on stage. You had one of the most impressive records ever. You turned pro 6 times. You won tons of pro shows, accolades, Arnold Classics. Like what did you want your legacy to be about who Jose Raymond is and was as a bodybuilder?
Someone who was a student of the game, someone who truly loved every aspect of it. I love it to this day, and I love all the competitors, and I love everyone, and someone who left a mark in the sport, whether it be from my competing in my records or what I was able to help others. I have a lot of clients, a lot of people that I help, and I'm not a Matt Jansen or Chris Aceto or anything like that, but I've made an impact.
Yeah.
And that's all I want to be.
What? And Nick, I'm going to ask you the same question next. But I'm going to ask Jose first, because he probably has more just because of the fact that he's been doing this longer. Jose, what is a story that stands out to you, that you did something that was like, wow, this is bigger than bodybuilding, but because of bodybuilding, I'm here? Like helping somebody, or it was a hospital visit, or just was it something out of the blue that somebody came up to you and caught you completely off guard with something they said, or just like something like that? Like, because I know I have a ton. And I'm sure you do too. Like, what is one that really fucking stands out to you?
I have this one girl that I helped who was a 240-pound mom of 2 kids. And she got into training and I trained her. And then she just slowly started getting better and better and better and wanted to compete. And then she started competing. And I helped her for a few shows, and I was just like, listen, I don't want to, I'm not the guy to encourage you to do a bunch of drugs. I just want you to be better than you are. That's it. So she left me and went to a couple other coaches and then come back. And she's like, you know what? I got my best results with you. If you would take me back. I'm like, that's fine, no problem. And this year she did the universe, and she was incredible. She was amazing. Like she didn't win, but she was just so friggin' incredible. Like
Mhm.
her look was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And you know, more that I've had many people turn pro, win the overall, whatever. But this one sticks out to me because it was so, you know, from a 240-pound mom to a legit national contender is
And she looked really good. I'm assuming
and she
she's-
looked really good, and she knew she looked really good, and it just made a difference in her life.
Was
you
it
know?
something was there something specific that she said to you that stuck with you, or
No, just the typical stuff,
Yeah.
you know. I couldn't have done
done
this.
it? Yeah.
I, you know, you've changed my life.
Yeah.
Those are the things that mean
Yeah.
the most to me.
Yeah.
You have changed my life, and how what more can I ask for?
That's,
know?
I mean, yeah, I think when you change somebody's lives for the better, I think that's better than any amount of money or trophy that anybody can put in front of you.
That
Um,
meant
agree.
more to
I
me,
agree.
Guy, than the story I told you already of a friend of mine.
You don't have to get
reached
into
out
it.
to me and asked me to prep him for the Masters Olympia.
You don't have to.
Asked me to prep his girlfriend, and I prepped his girlfriend. She won the overall 50 and over at the Masters Olympia. I mean Masters Nationals. And then I said, listen, you know, you didn't pay me anything. How about I can just post a picture of her? And he's like, no. I'm like, really? I'm like, that's strange.
He called me this weekend and talked to me for an hour about this because he was fucking pissed.
I was
God.
livid.
He was.
And I was-
You mean Masters USA's?
No, Masters Nationals. It was last weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And she ended up winning her class in overall over 50. So I'm like,
I'm going to
let
get
me-
a drink real quick, but I already
let me
heard this. So
post
go.
a
I'll be right back.
picture. And he's like, no. I'm like, no, what? I can't post a picture? He's like, that's right. I said no. And I'm like, okay. So meanwhile, I'm prepping him for the Masters Olympia, and he sends his check-ins like 4 days later. And I'm like, bro, I'm good. Like, we need to have a discussion about your little tantrum before we move forward. And he's like, he sends me this response. Yeah, you were hitting on my girlfriend. I'm like, what? I'm like, you all her check-ins came via your phone. How would I hit on your girlfriend? And he's like, well, your disproportionate responses saying, you know, fantastic, phenomenal, top notch, great condition. And he's like, meanwhile, I'm thinking she's not in shape. Now, keep in mind, this guy's blind.
Nuh-uh.
He's blind, legally blind. He can't see her. That's why he hired me. So I'm like, okay, dude. I don't know where you're going with this, but my responses couldn't have been too disproportionate. She won the overall. She won everything. How am I like what? So that's one of the things, and that's a lesson I've learned. Do not help friends and charge everyone your price.
Yeah.
Because I didn't charge him. I didn't.
Are you still coaching him?
No, I told him to get fucked. I'm like, dude,
Did you tell Nick he reached back down and was like, hey, what am I doing? Like,
yeah.
No.
He sent check-ins after telling me I couldn't prep his girlfriend, that I couldn't post a picture of his girlfriend.
And then hits him with, are we changing anything this week for the diet?
Yeah, exactly.
And what did you say? You were like, we got to fucking have a conversation, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, we need to discuss this because I'm horrified and insulted that you wouldn't let me post a picture after you sent me $200. He sent me
Crazy.
$200 to prep him and his girlfriend. And I'm like, dude, I charge a lot more than that.
Was it at least 200 each?
No, total. And then
So,
he's like, well, I brought you a t-shirt
From his gym.
from his
Well,
gym.
I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
I'm like, you brought me a t-shirt. I'm like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? And with all due respect, I was like, I like pretty girls. Like your girl is looks like me, you know.
Didn't you say I'm insulted that you think I'm attracted to your girl?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm a prettier girl than she is. Like, what are you talking about? Why would I ever hit on that thing? Like I don't get it.
That
People
None
are
of
just-
it made sense. None of it made sense. And I
That's
know,
a hard lesson to learn, and I've been there before.
it was because he was a friend of mine, and I really liked him, and I
He's not a friend. That's the thing. Like, no matter how long you've known somebody, if somebody has the ability to do that to you, they were never your friend ever.
no,
Agreed.
exactly.
They were
Agreed.
never your friend. So for me, I'm not going to say the lady's name because I don't want it to be aired out because I don't know if her son cares or not. But I got a message years in 2017, I believe it was, or it might have been 16. I got a message on Facebook that there was a woman that was undergoing brain surgery to remove cancer tomorrow. And the lady said, I'm a daughter of the son whose mother this is. And I asked her today if she could have anybody visit her in the hospital, who would she pick? And she said, The Rock. I know this is funny. This is funny. The Rock or Guy Cisternino is what she said. So I fucking, whatever. I don't even remember what I was doing. I turned around. I went to the store. I picked up 24 roses. I had an old Cardillo belt that Cardillo gave me that I didn't wear. That was turquoise, Jesus Christ, turquoise blue. And I got a bunch of other things. I put them in a big box and I drove up north. It was in somewhere in North Jersey to the hospital. I have the video. I posted on Instagram a while back. And I sat there and I talked to her for probably 2 hours. And she ended up years later passing away, unfortunately, from brain surgery. Because, you know, with the surgery she was getting, you know, she was kind of almost like partially paralyzed because of where the tumor is sitting. And at the end there, she ended up being in a wheelchair, but like she ended up living longer years after that than was expected. But that kind of hit home because, you know, in my head, and you can make, you know, we can make jokes on this as much as we want, but like, I really don't, I'm a nobody to me. Like, I'm just a guy that just enjoyed working out and just ended up, you know, being a halfway decent bodybuilder, but I don't find myself important. When people ask for my autograph, I still fucking laugh in my head, like for what? Like, fuck am I signing? I don't think I'm anybody important, but when somebody puts you on a pedestal to say you've changed their life, or if I had one person I could see, it'd be you. Or I was at an appearance in El Paso, Texas, and I had a kid right in front of my business partner, Mark Matthew. He said, because of your videos and things you've said, he goes, I've stopped myself on multiple occasions of killing myself. And I was like, I just said, give me a second. I had to like turn around. I was like, I had to take a breath because I'm like, that's not like something that just goes in and goes out. Like that's some heavy real life shit. And when somebody says that to you and they look at you in the with like those eyes and you're like, fuck, like
Real.
I actually impact people a lot more than I think. And maybe, and actually in that moment, I actually was like, maybe I need to watch some of the things I say if I'm having an impact with my positive motivation, then maybe some of the negative things I say are having a negative impact on people that don't know me and look at me the wrong way. So it's just, it's that stuff that kind of, it just, to me, I've always said it, something like that in a moment like that you can change somebody's life. That is more worth than any money, any trophy, any fucking accolade I got from bodybuilding. That is what living is about. Not bodybuilding, living. Everybody's on here. Air it out with bro chat, air it out with what happened. I mean, I don't really, nothing really fucking happened, guys. Like, I don't know what detail you guys want to get into besides the fact that
is that really all the questions?
I mean, there's no, why do people, oh no, this is stupid. Should a natty need, Jose, this is actually good for you because a lot of people don't know or believe that Jose was natural up until after he turned pro. He actually went on his first cycle after your first pro show, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Should a natural competitor needing to put on size, this is by that one guy, 918. Should a natty needing to put on size should a natty needing to put on size, push the bulk hard or bulk for a longer period of time and then slowly dirt off the fat? He just wrote it a little weird. He's saying,
I used to do that. I used to get really heavy. So before I did the nationals as a middleweight, 176, I was 230 in my off season and came down to 176.
Nick, you okay?
I'm just reading some of this shit.
I was like, did you just get bad news? Oh, you're reading the comments.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Sorry, Jose.
So yes, I do agree. As a natural, you should try to really exaggerate how much weight and substance you can put on your body before you go down. But don't be surprised if you drop 40, 50 pounds.
Did you have to do that as a natural competitor with dirty food too? Because I know you like your food. So were you more like a Lee Priest where it was like, you kind of, you didn't follow a meal plan. You ate what you want when you wanted, a combination every day of clean and junk. And it was what it was.
It was what it was. It was, roast beef sandwiches. It was burgers, steak.
Now, was that because you wanted to, or that was just more convenient and that's kind of like where you were in your life?
No, I mean, I thought it was important that I eat all the good food plus all the extra food.
Because
so I would get up in the morning and make, egg whites.
I've been to your house. You have hot dogs and fucking a bottle of test in your fridge.
Yeah. Hot dogs, sausages, steak tips.
And the reason why I ask, Jose, is because of this. Growing up, I got bullied a lot. I was a chunky fucking kid. I was like stocky. People called me cankles. I had big ears. I was just like a fucking stocky meatball. It was very hard for me to break out of the getting heavy in the off season because I still have to, I hate taking, people see me post. I'm like, I do that stuff because it's social media. And, part of me being a fucking retired guy is people want to see what the retired guy is still looking like. I don't like how I look. I don't think I look good. I'm not impressed with how I look, but growing up, I was very self-conscious of how I looked all the time. I hated taking my shirt off. And I barely went to the fucking beach, even when I was dieting. For me, it's very impressive. I don't know, and I've never seen Nick fat since I've known him, but it's very impressive to me that you could actually eat like that and not let it affect you mentally, unless it did and you didn't really let anybody know, because I've seen you fat with fucking long hair dancing in your fucking living room.
Yeah.
Like I've seen you fat.
Yeah.
And
never did it affect me.
But why? Because was it always because you knew you had the ability to get to where you wanted to get to? Because I can tell you this, I think I have one of the strongest mindsets of anybody. I think I've been through a lot of stuff. I think I overcome a lot of stuff. I think most stuff that I've been through, a lot of people, if they went through, they probably would have fucking ate a bullet by now. And I said that to Nick not long ago because of shit that was going on. And I really mean that. However, I I could never do that. I think that's why I was never a better bodybuilder, because I could never get to the point where I was okay getting that out of shape to put on muscle. And Chris would say, you just got to get fat, bro. He's like, some of the fattest, worst off-season pictures make the best fucking bodybuilder, like have the best fucking show, like when they like showing at a show. He was like, Eduardo at his worst was his best on stage. Jose at his worst was his best on stage. Sean Roden at his worst won him a fucking Olympia. He was like, it does, but I couldn't do it. How I want, like, is there, because you obviously had to know, you looked in the mirror and go, Jesus Christ, I got fucking tits and fucking stomach. Like, how was that okay with you?
Because I was stronger than I ever was in my life. And I was making gains. Gains meaning I was starting a deadlift 600 pounds. I was, moving weight that I never, ever, and even though I was fat, I knew I was adding muscle. I was adding significant amount of muscle. So when I would come back down, there'd be 8 to 10 pounds more muscle than the last time. So I was okay with it. And I knew every time I got fat, I added muscle. So I didn't worry about it.
Was that a standard protocol for off season? Because I never knew you to follow shit. I mean,
Oh yeah. Every off season I got morbidly obese. I was, to be a welterweight, 165, I was 220.
That's fucking nuts.
And then as a lightweight, 154, I was 215. And then as a middleweight at 176, I was 230 in the off season. And then as a 212 guy, I was
240.
240, 250. I got up as high as 265.
And you're what, 5'4", 5'3.5"?
Yeah, with shoes on.
Nick, did you ever experience that?
A fat off season?
But it would
Yeah.
mentally bother me. Like, did that never bother? Like, that's
No.
what I mean.
I think it does, which is why I don't get out of shape. But
Now,
back
why?
then, no.
I think it would be very hard for you to get fat and out of shape right now.
He's in a totally different stage of
Yes,
Yes, I do, but
I think now I choose not to. I'll be honest though, even though like this was a short off season, so have you. I ate a lot of shit, like a lot of shit.
Really?
But I never got fat. And that's why I kept doing it, was not purposely, but like I wasn't afraid because.
Well, let's back up. What's a lot of shit to you? Because Jose's considers shit food is going to be polar opposite of your shit.
Yeah. He
like you go and getting like chicken and bang chicken and shrimp from like fucking.
Oh, like for example, like if me and Maria went out, we'll just use the Cheesecake Factory as an example because that's the go-to for me mainly. But like I would get a large Caesar salad, which I don't care what anyone says, that shit is by far not the healthiest thing to have. I'd eat baskets on baskets of brown bread. I'd eat a bacon burger, with 2 fries on the side. And then odds are she won't really eat dessert. So then I'm eating that whole strawberry cheese or that strawberry shortcake thing all by myself. And that's a lot of food. And that'd be a weekly thing. But then like one time during the week, we'd go out, maybe get some Chick-fil-A, go out or just have a nice dinner. So I was doing things like this a couple of times a week. And it didn't affect me as it would as if, it was like 3 or 4 years ago.
So I'm going to say I agree, because lately I've been eating one garbage meal and it's been a lot at night. And my weight actually has been going down or staying the same. And I am pinning that on the added fucking caloric burn from working out, because I really do think that has something to do with it, because there's no way I've been eating. I ate a half ice cream cake last night. I woke up, I gained a fucking pound.
Fuck yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
But no, I think it's cool that you guys could do that, because I could never do that. Mentally, I couldn't handle it. And I think I couldn't handle it because of how much I got made fun of and picked on, and how uncomfortable I was in my skin for a very long period of time. Even now, I was very uncomfortable in my skin growing up. I did not I just was not happy with how I looked. I over dieted at times. There was times I was eating. I used to have a book of like when I was counting calories. There were days I eating 600-700 calories.
I've
Like,
done that. I've
yeah.
done that.
Stupid stuff. But
But I think, you know, it doesn't really, I don't really bother me. I don't want to say bother me. But I think now I'm more cautious, like Jose said, because of the position I'm in now. And I just feel like I can't get out of shape.
yeah,
Like I still have to maintain a look that's appealing for guest posing, for this, you know, for that.
Yeah.
It's, you know, I'm gonna enjoy food. We're human.
yeah.
But I do, you know, if I ever feel like I'm getting too heavy to a degree,
Yep.
just pull it back a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
So
really it.
easier for you to manipulate it now, or Matt, because you've been fucking doing it for so long, and it's like kind of like,
Yeah, I know what to do. You know, if I wake up one morning and because I had too much to eat, like 6-7 pounds, I'm not gonna go, oh man. I'll just, you know, diet hard for a couple of days and it comes right off.
okay. I mean, that's fucking. Listen, I would be doing the same shit. Nick and Guy and Jose favorite Dairy Queen Blizzard flavor from Brother Gibbs.
I like the Oreo Blizzard.
You don't have DQ by you, Jose?
Uh,
Really, Dairy Queen, the ice cream spot?
no.
I would always do growing up like the peanut butter cup one. I haven't had a Blizzard in a
I would
minute,
do
but
the peanut butter cup or Oreo, but I think I
Or
like
moose
Oreo.
tracks or something.
No, that's the fucking ice
Moose
cream.
tracks.
Isn't that fucking? Hold on, I think that question's coming up because that's in here. There's some. Oh,
tracks.
here. What's your go-to ice cream flavors?
Oh, peanut butter topped.
I have a few.
Ben and Jerry's.
Mine is the thick mint top Ben and Jerry's, Jose. I've been on a fucking. If you haven't had it, it is fucking awesome.
Really? The mint?
Thick.
I don't do mint. I don't
Even
do mint.
no, hold on. Even people that tell me they don't like mint chocolate chip ice cream
Can't
will
convince
fucking
me.
tell me it's awesome.
Can't convince me.
Why?
I'll try it.
I don't do mint.
Jose has a pint of ice cream or half a pint every night.
Yep.
So yours is the what?
It's what?
Yours is the peanut butter top Ben and
Peanut
Jerry's.
butter topped Ben and Jerry's.
Mine is the thick mint top Ben and Jerry's.
All right.
I think I'm gonna go with the cookie dough Ben and Jerry's.
What is that? The tonight dough?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm a cookie guy. So anything.
Me
cookie
too.
dough,
Me
anything
too. My
dough,
cookie
I'm in.
dealer. My cookie dealer. I love them. They're the best. Use code Quadro10. Dead serious too. Not even
I know
joking.
you are. I know you are.
Any tension between, I don't know where this is coming from, between Nick and Derek Lunsford.
No, me and Derek are fine.
Yeah.
Me and Derek love each other. Me and Derek text each other. Me and Derek.
This is about you having or somebody's asking if you have beef with this guy. I don't know. Do you want me to read this one? Did you read it?
Me?
Yeah.
Go ahead, read it.
Beef?
Why does Nick shit on? I don't even know if this is
Oh,
true.
Regan.
Yeah. Why does Nick shit on Regan
read
so
that.
much?
Okay.
Obviously, Regan isn't on Nick's level, but Regan's back is better than Nick's, and you can compete and can compete with Derek's.
I don't.
Just don't
Okay.
think bodybuilders should shit on other. What did you say? Was this another like Samson?
Yeah,
situation?
this is what I talked about him on the HD Muscle Park video I did while we were in Canada. I'm not shitting on Regan. I think Regan has the utmost potential probably out of almost anybody. I just think his focus is more toward other aspects rather than bodybuilding. That was really all I said, but probably in a harsher way. But Regan could be at the top of the game easily.
I saw him last week, and he looks incredible.
I just think he just needs to go like this.
Why do you need
That's
to
it.
explain yourself? Why?
Because people like
You have to understand,
like
Jose,
I said, people are sensitive, and I guess I have to be careful of certain things that I say. But
No, you don't. And this is,
No, you
but
don't.
hold on, Jose. Let
If
me.
you
People,
say-
hold on. Listen,
There's no
people
way
would go.
God
Why are you
created
guys?
that Regan can beat me. That's it. That's it. You don't have to explain yourself. Regan's
But-
not going to beat you. He can't.
You're
beat
right, Jose. We don't have to explain ourselves, but this is what people don't understand. People will go to me for somebody who doesn't give a fuck. You've said it to me. For somebody that doesn't give a fuck about other people's opinion, you do awfully a lot of explaining because I have an opinion. And if people say it, twist it, because of the position I'm in, Nixon, you're in. Are you done with the fucking yawning shit? Have
Go
another
ahead.
beer.
But
We have a podcast. Nick's at the top of bodybuilding. I'm a retired pro. I have a podcast. I have to explain myself because that's the reason people want to know, and people want explanation as to why things are said, done, that's our job, is to explain it, whether we think it deserves an explanation or not. Half the shit I say, I'm like, you guys fucking can't figure it out yourself. Then too fucking bad. However, this is part of being on the podcast, and fucking we have to explain things sometimes. So it is what it is.
I just think people need to stop being so sensitive.
I agree.
You know, I don't ever come from a malicious place. I have an opinion, and I have all the respect for Regan. I think, like I said, I think Regan could be one of the best bodybuilders. He has the shape. He's got the muscle bellies for it. If Regan was just to put a full 100% for 1 year, off-season prep, whatever, he could be so dangerous.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd like to think right now that's what he's doing, and I'm very excited to see what he looks like in the Italy show.
Yeah, yep. And I think he's going to shock a lot of fucking people if he.
And that's what I want. People don't even understand. Like I might
thrive on that.
I love seeing people.
Yeah,
but I'm also going to give my true opinion.
You want everybody to win, except when it comes to beating to you, of course.
Oh, yeah, no one's going to beat me. No, but all these people that are going to be in the Olympia, I want everyone at their best. That's what creates a real champion.
Yeah.
Because then there's no excuses like, oh, well, you know.
He was off.
Yeah, fuck that. No, you know.
He got sick. He had food poisoning.
It's always something. So like, you know, I know he probably watched it, and I know I feel like he hasn't really talked to me much because of it.
Yeah.
But listen, if it lit a fire under his ass, good job. You know, I have no.
Regan's that way. I think he's a super nice kid.
He's very nice.
He doesn't. I don't think he takes too much.
I just hope,
umbrage.
like I said, and I have nothing but respect for Regan. I think, and he's a very nice guy as well. But if he just puts full focus,
he's gonna be dangerous.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Here's one. Will Guy and Nick be training together at Pure Muscle after the O? Right after, I don't know, but me and Nick have been talking about me taking a trip up there, so I'm sure Nick and I will be training together.
Which Pure Muscle up in Montreal?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. I heard from everybody that's been there and trained there, it said it's literally one of the best gyms in the entire world, like better than any gym.
So I heard they're collaborating with a equipment maker.
Yes.
My boy Nate's buying a swing squat from them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Dorian
on a long waiting list to get it.
Dorian is like also making his own kind of equipment too. So
that's awesome. Good for him, man. That's fucking great. He's doing a lot of shit.
Yeah.
What's the most ghetto? We'll do a couple more and then we'll call it quits. But somebody said on this is a statement. They would love for you guys. They want us to start like doing we'll call them critique your physiques.
Critique the physique.
Critique the physique. People want us to
the physique?
No, they're just saying COP, critique or CTP. We'll go CTP.
I want to
critique the physique, son.
Let's do it. I'd love to do it.
I want to critique Guy's physique as of now.
Fuck you. Why?
He's a scrawny little.
Fuck you, you chubby fuck.
You're a skinny little prick.
I could roll you down a hill.
You can roll shit.
You look like the fucking Mucinex booger commercial guy. Fucking.
Fat and happy.
Who was your favorite guest? This came from Lee Priest.
Lee Priest.
Where do you? Okay, this is actually I've been asked this 3 times since this competition, and it's a very good question. Where do you see Hunter? I'm sorry. Where do you see Justin? This is where my head was because I compared Justin to Hunter. Where do you see Justin placing at the O?
Top 10.
I said that too.
I
mouth open.
I think for his first Olympia, I could see him place anywhere from
8 to 10.
Exactly. I don't think he's going to beat Hunter. I only say that.
I didn't say he wasn't going to beat Hunter. I think his shape, because I know there's a lot of different body parts. His structure is very Hunter-esque.
I got a
He
question.
needs to be, in order for him to be top 10, he needs to be significantly better than he was in Chicago.
But also, just so you guys know, this was another conversation I had. The lighting for that show didn't help the competitors in pictures.
Yeah, Justin was sending me pictures. He was on.
He was on like those, like, because I didn't think anybody looked good in those pictures. And sometimes people like the lighting isn't meant for pictures. The lighting is meant for the judges, and people got to understand that it doesn't. I don't care how great the photographer is. Sometimes if the stage lighting is so good that it's it's for the competitors, then the stage shots just might not be that good and show everything. And the fact that people still think that so-and-so was off or so-and-so was better based on pictures that were taken from stage lighting that maybe wasn't, that didn't help the photo from the photographer, like that's okay. But like people get so gung-ho that the picture tells all. And I'm like, guys, we should know by now to stop it. But I think Justin was bang on. Because like even in his back shot, his glutes didn't look like they were in the pictures, and I knew he was peeled.
Yeah,
He beat a very good John De La Rosa.
Yes, that was probably John's maybe best.
No, but it was a very good.
No, best in a very long time. John was missing it, and then took 3 years off, and then got injured. But that was one of John's best I've seen in a very long time.
Very good, John.
Because he had an improved back. Because his back was always his knock.
yeah.
And Justin beat him. So that says a lot right there. Very good, John.
I've never counted. I probably know Jose hasn't. You might have most calories you guys have ever ate.
Never counted.
Never counted. These are all compliments. What do you do in your free time? You guys play video games? Do any sort of outdoor activities? I want to see Nick at 3. By the way, I want to see Nick at 300 pounds.
I was there.
That was Joshua.
I'm big on the movies, and especially in prep. I've probably gone to the movies 3 times in the past week.
No way.
Yeah, I saw Barbie, I saw Oppenheimer, and I just saw Haunted Mansion yesterday.
How was Oppenheimer?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that too.
Oh, so good, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
It was for 3 hours long. It was really good. That's something everybody.
Why did you see Barbie?
Because Maria wanted to see it. That's not my choice.
Okay, fair enough.
How was it? Was it even worse?
Fucking trash.
I thought so.
I hated it with a passion. From the opening scene, I'm like, this is fucking cringe. I'm like, I want to go home.
Yeah.
But it's making so much money though.
Sorry, Nick, that guy is a fake, doesn't give a shit about morals.
What morals? What morals?
Yeah, because I started a podcast with Nick and we have our own and we don't do free shit.
Wouldn't that mean I don't have morals neither?
Huh?
Wouldn't that mean I don't have morals neither?
I know. Fucking idiot. What is the most ridiculous fact that you know?
Ridiculous fact?
The most ridiculous fact is that you have no morals for starting your own podcast. That is,
you know, what's crazy to me is that
That's
people like, you know, somebody said a comment to me, and it was that a friend said that when we first started, you know, talking or becoming friends or building a friendship, somebody told me to watch out for you because you're friends with too many people, and that might affect your loyalty. And I'm like, that's how I go. If everybody does the right thing and they're loyal to me and they tell the truth, then that doesn't even fucking make any sense. So like, just because I started a podcast and me and Nick had an idea and we put it forward and we're doing it now and we're doing something for ourselves, because we left or we're just not on as often or Nick's not on and I just haven't been asked to be on. If that is what we chose to do because we wanted to go another avenue, why does that make it wrong? And that's what I don't understand. Like, people fucking only see the goddamn podcast and they have zero fucking clue, because I could tell you something right fucking now, okay? As those guys could probably say the same thing.
Guy.
That's my watch. there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes of a podcast and friendships. And there's a shit ton that a lot of you guys don't know, both good, some bad. But at the end of the day, people fucking move on and do things for themselves. So I did that. You guys don't like it. I don't honestly fucking care, because me and Nick did podcasts for a very long time, and I will speak for myself. I got $0. I didn't get paid anything for doing it. I did it because I loved it. I wanted to be on a podcast. I like talking to my fucking friends, and I just didn't mind doing it. After a while, there was things that changed, and I was like, I want to kind of do this myself. And I did. And that's end period. And if anybody has a problem with that, okay, on that podcast, in my friend group, people that know me, if anybody has a problem with me starting my own podcast, fuck you.
Just don't watch it.
Don't watch it.
I can tell you from experience.
Because I think I go out of my way for everybody. And if you're in my circle, you know it. And I will take a fucking bullet. And if there's anything I can do to help a friend out, I will fucking do it. So the fact that I get fucking shit on because I did my own thing is,
Even though I shit on you every chance I get, you are probably one of the greatest people I know.
I agree.
I wouldn't say greatest, but
No, you are.
You're one of the most loving,
People don't know you behind the scenes.
sincere, greatest people I know.
appreciate it.
I know a lot of people, and you're one of the greatest people I know, and it's not because of your podcast or any stupid fucking shit like that. I don't care what you do. I know you as a person, and that's the only reason I'm here doing it with you. Because I'll do anything for you. If you ask me to fucking come on here naked, showing my fat tits, I'll do it.
Take
Whatever.
it off.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
So no. Any of the nonsense that you're getting is just completely misunderstood.
It's fucking bullshit.
You did a lot of good for
Everyone.
everyone, even on Fuad's podcast. You were a favorite on there, and people enjoyed you. Fuad enjoyed you there.
It's just crazy the twist people can do and put this persona on you it doesn't even exist.
I don't even think Fuad's that upset.
I don't think so either. That's the crazy part is
like,
people are
all
made
these
twisted this
people are
today,
upset. Just do your thing.
I do. That's the thing. I don't give a fuck. But like I said, I explain it sometimes because you get it fucking asked a million times.
Yeah, exactly.
Should men's physique have different categories like bodybuilding? Like men's physique, bodybuilding, no weight cap, then men's physique with weight cap and height? I think no.
No.
Keep it as it is.
Yeah, it's not fucking. Let's do a
Like
couple more.
212 men's physique? No.
Yeah, no, that's no. Yeah, you can't do that. It's insanity. You got to you got to weigh them and shit, and then then like they don't really show their fucking legs, so that'd be a disaster.
Yeah.
So I got this one, then we'll end with a good one. Do you guys take GDAs in mass phase with every carb meal?
What?
I do. Actually.
GDA, glucose disposable agent. It almost shuttle the carbohydrates into the. It's almost like metformin, but like Blackstone Labs has glycolog. I believe HD has what is it? Glyco HD.
I never even heard of it.
Yeah, it's called a GDA, glucose disposable agent. Do you use them, Nick?
I do.
I use them with every meal, and people go, and I use it even with my no carb meals. I use them.
I don't do that.
Yeah, because it doesn't. I even though I'm not eating carbs, right? If you're eating like big vegetable meal, they say it's trace carbs. So I don't overdo it, but I'll take like half the dose for that meal just to get the benefit from it. But I think they're great. I can't speak for every company. Obviously, you take Glyco HD, which you like. I take Glycolog. So, obviously those are good products. I don't take products that I don't like, they don't work. Glycolog, I post it all the time. You guys see me take it. Something I do believe in. I think any GDA that's good is worth taking. So whatever brand you're a fan of, if you like that brand, take that GDA. This is a good one. We'll end here. Was there a moment, and this was from well, the first one was from Ironman 0583 about the GDAs. This one is from DJ Wick. Okay. Was there a moment, this was for Nick, but I'm going to put it for all of us, or I'll put it for you too. Was there a moment when you guys said enough was enough and we're about to quit bodybuilding? Did you ever like have a point and you were like, I'm fucking done. This is it.
Yeah.
When was that?
After my first Olympia.
Why?
I just think,
What happened to get to that point? And Jose, I'm coming to you next and asking the same thing.
It's really hard to explain because I feel like even I still don't know. I just think I let the quick success, so to speak, get to my head. And I felt like I had to keep going and had to keep going. And, that ultimately led to a bunch of other things that happened.
Meaning like you didn't want to do the O?
No, like I mean, like I wanted to continue.
Oh, you didn't want to stop.
No, because I felt like I had to continue to stay, I guess, on top, stay relevant, keep my name known, and all which we all know it's not the truth.
Yeah.
But when you are getting that quick success and people are talking about you and rooting for you, you feel like if you stop for a little bit, you'll lose that.
Yeah.
So as much as I knew, to a degree, I was burnt out, I didn't want to stop. Then everything kind of started to go downhill after a certain part of time. And I just got to a point where I was like, fuck it, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done.
Yeah.
But then, you quickly just kind of get a grip.
How did you had it? What was so that was the moment in time you were down. Was there something that brought you back and put a spark in your ass again and woke you back up?
I think not necessarily a spark. I think it was,
or a moment or something that happened.
It was me just owning up to the mistakes that I have made and just being the bigger person and swallowing my pride and fixing things that needed to be fixed. And then, initially that just kind of led everything to kind of spark again on its own.
Yeah. Hose, you've had a bunch of fucking adversity. Ever a time where you were going to wave the white flag and be like, I'm fucking over this shit?
Look at those biceps.
It's fucking crazy. Do that again.
Do it again.
Dude, look at his P. It's like
it's left. Turn him in like this.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's fucking crazy.
He's look at him critiquing your fucking pose. He doesn't even have his bicep runs into his forearm on his fucking. It's fucking stupid. Look at that.
That's stupid. No.
What about you though?
I never.
Bullshit. Well, what about when you broke your leg? Were you like, "Fuck, this might be it"?
Well, yeah. Right.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Never.
No, I never thought like I want to quit. I thought I wouldn't be able to fucking walk normal again because I broke my leg.
Yeah.
And then within a few months that I was able to train again and I grew more than I ever did in my life, I was fine with it. But yeah, initially I thought it's over because I broke my leg. But no.
What about was there ever a show you did that you got such a placing that you didn't think and you're like, fuck this, I'm just like, because I've said that, so I'm like, fuck this, I can't take this shit no more, I'm fucking over it.
No, not a placing.
Yeah.
No, I knew that there were placings that were uncharacteristic of who I am, and I was like, well, I need to just reevaluate what I'm doing. But no, so at the Olympia on a couple occasions, I for some reason, man, it was just, and you've seen me. yeah.
Like for some reason at the O, I always felt that I just never got a fucking fair look. And there was an Arnold Classic where it was kind of the same thing. Like me and Jose thought it was going to be me and Jose, and it was David and Ashkenani for 1 and 2, and me and Jose were 3 and 4. Me and Jose were thinking it was 1 and 2, and So, but at the Olympia, like there was one year, I think it was 2015 or 16, where I always went into Olympia with really not a lot of confidence because it was always like end of the first call out or the beginning of the second, like between 6th and 8th place. Like that's where I fucking stood the whole time, like back, always there. And it was one of those ones. This was the one where Ashkenani took second.
Yeah.
Was it 2016?
16.
16.
Yeah.
I went to the bathroom and fucking put my trunks on, Nick, and I fucking walked over before walking out in Vegas, and I pulled my fucking pants down, and I fucking squeezed my ass cheeks together and just like flexed my back and looked in the mirror, and I said out loud, I go, these motherfuckers are in trouble. And I stood there and watched the guys go up for comparisons, and it was Sami Al-Haddad, and I was like, got him. Fucking Ahmad went up, and Sean was standing, Clarita was standing there with me, he looked at me, and he was like, hey, you got him too? And I was like, yep. And I got fucking 8th place. And I fucking walked, and Flex and Jose saw me. I was like, I'm fucking like, I'm done. Like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, this is fucking a waste of my fucking time. Like, I put so much into this, and then they would always be like, stop. Like, Jose was always like, stop. Like, look, he'd be like, look at where you are. Who the fuck has done this? And, you get to compete with me and fucking lose to me. And
You get to get on stage with me.
and lose to me.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I think it's natural to, as a human being, to reach a point in many aspects of your life where you think I'm fucking done. However, the one place you never want to get to is where you say I'm done with your life, because that's when it gets very fucking scary. You could be done with a relationship. You could be done with a car you don't like driving. You could be done with a career, but you never want to be done with your life, because that's something that is irreplaceable and something you can't ever just trade in and get a new one of.
I agree.
But yes, I think it's natural to reach that at some point in our lives and not be so happy with where we are and want to say, you know what, this is it. I want to change. I've talked about wanting to move to Texas because I want to up and leave. Like I want to be done here and start there. In that, this was a very long podcast and very good, because I haven't been on here in a while, and I've had some shit luck in the past couple of weeks, and I'm glad both of you fucking knuckleheads were able to jump on tonight and have a mutant in the mouth and with us three. So I know Justin, we're doing another one this week. Jose, Justin wants to jump on, so maybe we'll bring you on
Let me know
this Friday and
I
do
want to
another
talk
one.
to Justin.
Yeah, because we want to bring him on after his show and talk about, what his feelings were and the emotion and what he went through and the ups and the downs. So if you're down for Friday, we're
Yeah,
gonna do a fucking Friday rodeo roundup, baby.
Let's do it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, guys. Well, another good one. Nick and myself appreciate you for jumping on, Jose. It was damn near 3-hour podcast with a little technical difficulty as always, because everybody hates the fact that I am so good with technology. But we appreciate each and every one of you guys. So the next time we will be on here with new and Olympian getting ready for his first Olympia. Justin Shire will be here this week. And then we'll bring Jose back on. And we got a lot of cool guests in the pipeline for you guys. So like, comment, subscribe. Eminem, Mutant in the Mouth with special guest and one of my best friends, Jose, the Boston Mass Raymond. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, and those in between, assalamu alaikum. We're out.
Peace.